Welcome to Help Desk with Joe, and with me, as always, Joe.
We're back.
We're back. We're here. We have a product to review, and as always, you're helping people save money, make technology more efficient for them to use, and to help them avoid scams, trouble, or just threats through technology in general.
Right.
So, all right, what are we talking about today?
Well, we're going to flip the script a little bit, and I'm going to let you review today's product.
I like the way this is going.
So instead of me doing all the testing and reviewing, this product you've actually tested, and I'm just going to review for us.
Well, I have with me today the Samsung Galaxy Gear 2 watch, and I've been wearing this around loosely for a couple of months now, so I got a couple of months under my belt of getting used to it and wearing it and utilizing the features. So I'm pretty excited. So this is a Samsung Galaxy Gear 2 smartwatch.
Okay. So first, let's go over the features, and then stop me, say yes, I've used that feature, no, I've not used that feature, and then we'll discuss how you've used it.
That's pretty smart. Let me give this disclaimer. I haven't used all the features just because being the person that I am, I didn't really worry about the directions too much. I got the functions working that I wanted to use and just kind of left it at that. So I'm sure I'm missing a lot of features that other people may or may not be interested in.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you ready?
I'm ready. I'm ready. Hit me.
All right. So with the Galaxy Gear S2 watch, you have the capability of call, text, email, receive notifications all on the watch. So out of those features alone, have you used any?
I have used all of them actually, except for email. I didn't use email. I didn't link my email up yet. I might in the future, but right now it's not a concern. The big things I was looking for was texting and calls because I carry my phone in my back pocket or in my pocket, or I throw it down in the car somewhere. And when I'm driving, I refuse to pick it up, and I miss a lot of calls or texts that way. And also, when I'm in a school or in a meeting, I refuse to pick my phone up. I just think it's good social courtesy. So I'm kind of cheating that process via the watch because it will notify me of any call, and I can send a quick message off of it the same way you would with your phone. And also with a text message, I can get a text message, read it, or at least see who it's from and determine how important it is, which is what I mostly do. So it does allow you the ability to do that very easily. And the connection to the phone is a snap. It's pretty much plug and play. The features are so easy. I didn't look at the directions once I kind of sorted through the menu, so it works out really well that way. I'm not sure how detailed I could get with each of the functions, but it is pretty easy.
Well,
as far as that.
I know you and I tested with the phone feature.
Yep.
And I got to say, from my end of things, the call quality was great.
Yeah. And that is a little weird. When you talk, you do have to kind of talk normal, and then we did some testing where I could just walk with it on my wrist and talk, and you heard me very well on your end. Anyway,
Yeah. I almost thought you butt dialed me for a second because I was like, Dave, and I could hear all this background noise, but I couldn't hear you, and you left it on. You left the phone call turned on purpose.
Right. So we could hear it as I walked. The hard part is, of course, being a watch, there isn't a very big speaker, so to hear, you have to hold it up fairly close to hear it if you're in any noise.
Now, does it have like a headphone jack to plug in, like if you want to use a headset?
No, it has 3 little holes for a speaker, which you really can't see, but it's real tiny. Which, I mean, it's a watch. Being able to hear out of it is amazing. We watched Inspector Gadget a couple weekends ago, and I'm talking on the same watch Inspector Gadget is. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I called you Dick Tracy there for a little
while.
There
you go, yeah. So it's the same idea. So that ability, just by itself, is pretty amazing, and the call quality is very well. Easy to understand, easy to hear you. The only problem I had is I did take a call while I was driving, just to use it, because I'm not sure if this is considered hands-free or not, but I was able to keep my hand on the steering wheel and just talk and drive. The hard part was me hearing.
Right.
It was hard to hear because I was driving this way and the speakers faced out, so I could barely hear, and I just had to say, "Well, I'll call you back when I stop."
Right.
But I did take a call driving, and it was okay.
Have you tried the distance? I know it's Bluetooth, and typically Bluetooth runs about 30 feet.
It is, I would say, very close to 30 feet. A lot of times I'll leave my phone sitting on my desk at the office, and I'll walk down to the bathroom, and I get 30, 40 feet away, and it beeps to let me know that it is out of connection.
Okay, so it does notify you.
It does, yeah,
okay,
it
perfect.
does. And I got mine on vibrate, so it doesn't make any noise.
Which is also a great feature if you happen to sit down in a restaurant, you set your phone down, you walk away, and you forget your phone, because a lot of people do that.
Yeah, and I imagine you could circle back to it by just whether it goes in and out because it alerts you when it comes back in as well.
Okay, great.
So it's very nice on that end. I know, if I walked away from my phone, like say when I go to the bathroom, it lets me know, and it's the same place in the hallway. It's like clockwork. I get 30 or 40 feet deep, and then I know I'm out. I guess we started with the calls. So the calls, I would say adequate. The texting is very good. Now it offers the ability to do several things. I can do patent messages, which is neat because I think it recognizes the texts. And if it's a yes or no question, it'll give me a yes or no response right away.
Okay.
Sometimes it doesn't, based on the question. I think on the text that it interprets, because sometimes the texts are not yes or no questions, and it'll give me options of I don't think so or I can't reply right now, something along those lines. But it also allows you to type, and it's kind of like the old school phone where you have 3 letters per number.
Okay.
You have 3 letters per button. It's very small, but you can type a custom message, and then it'll also let you do the voice to text.
Voice dictation.
Yes, which is very nice and very handy. So I haven't used those very much. I did use it just to try it out, and it worked very well. It did recognize my voice. It recognized the words I was saying, and it interpreted them right on the money. And I sent it, and there was no problem.
I got to ask this.
Yeah.
With our Appalachian dialect, is what everybody likes to call it. How did it handle Appalachian dialect? Did you have to speak slower, or was you able to rattle off and it?
That's part of the deal, though. I feel like I'm pretty neutral in my speech patterns, so it handled mine very well. Now, if you start throwing in some Appalachian dialect that's special,
right,
it may not. And I haven't tested it. I've only done a couple of runs on that. It understood me fine. And I didn't slow down. I was speaking as we're speaking right now. Here's the answer. It was a long answer, and then hit go, and it was great.
That's what I found with most any voice dictation technology. It doesn't matter what brand, what company.
Yeah.
If you have any kind of dialect, it really gets hairy real quick.
Right. And I could see that. Again, I feel like I'm fairly neutral, so I don't think it's an issue unless you're really bad with your dialect. So receiving notifications, wonderful. Again, I got mine set on vibrate, so it buzzes me anytime. It has a very good alert system. It'll tell you, like I know it has a yellow dot that it puts on one corner or a text message, and a different color for a call and so forth. That's the only notifications I really have set on it. It has a dial that you can turn, which I don't like very well, but I don't really use it. But it is kind of hard to, I don't know. I wouldn't say it's hard to get because I can turn it very easy with just my finger. But sometimes when it's on my wrist, if I got my wrist bent up, it is a little tricky to get to.
Yeah.
Or if it's a hot day, my hands are a little sweaty or anything, it's very hard to get. Now it's got little ridges, which are nice, and you can hook with your fingernail. But I don't care for it that much.
And what does the wheel do?
It cycles through the functions. So it gives you, think of a half moon of functions that it'll do, or apps that you can use. That half wheel allows you to dial through it very quickly. So it's really just ease of operation. I didn't like it. My first impression wasn't very good for using that, so I just never use it. So now I just hit the button and choose which one I want out of that wheel. And like I say, if you didn't like to do that, you can spin through them very faster using the wheel.
Right. Okay. Speaking of apps,
yes,
the apps that it comes with, are you able to add apps through your phone through the watch itself, or is it just pretty much what you buy is what you get?
No, you can set up through your phone. You set everything up through your phone, actually.
Okay.
It comes with a bunch of apps on its own, but it all operates through your phone. So when you pull your phone up, it'll have its own set of apps that are specific to the phone, and you go through and set everything you want.
Okay.
You can set the watch face. It comes with a lot of different watch faces. I'm not very finicky, so I just picked one that I liked that was kind of a duller tone. I didn't want anything flashy that would distract me or anyone else. So a dull tone, and then I got that on there with the analog watch, I guess.
Okay. With the actual moving hands.
Moving hands, has the date and so forth. Does wonderful. But yeah, you set everything up through your phone. All your settings, all your apps. You can load any app you want through your phone and straight to the watch as long as they're connected via Bluetooth. It takes right off and goes.
Now, I have to ask, does it have the classic Mickey Mouse watch face? Because Mickey Mouse, growing up for me, that was one of the most popular watch faces was the Mickey Mouse with the moving hands.
I assume it does, but to be honest with you, I went through and like the fourth one got my fancy because it was blue and had some orange in it, so you could
Right.
see the watch hands really well, and that's just what I picked. My criteria is pretty low for a watch face. I'm not a watch wearer,
Right.
and I don't like them.
And I'm not either until I got my Fitbit.
Right.
I could not stand wearing a watch. So
And it's a game change situation of adapting because again, I felt like we have Patch has 350 employees, 50 full timers, 4 administrative staff. I feel obligated to make sure that I'm accessible.
right.
And so this is part of the obligation of I feel bad if I'm in a school and I don't want to be rude to someone else just for the social courtesy. Oh, let me get my phone out to see if it's an important text or not during a conversation. So I refuse to do that. I just felt like I was being hindered by that for my job. So the watch makes it easy because I can glance, okay, and go on, and it doesn't interrupt it.
You looking and say, "Oh, it's just Joe. I'll deal with him tomorrow."
Right. Yeah, I'm putting Joe on hold.
Yeah.
But it does make it handy for that, or if I'm walking or anything along those lines. It's very fast and efficient.
Right.
So that was the biggest thing for me. And I'm probably a poor reviewer because of that. Because again, I'm not the person that'll go through and see all 50 different watch faces to pick out one that
Right.
was particular. I just grabbed the first one that met my needs and had the date on it, the day, the time. I was good with that. So it has a fitness app. I do know that. I set my steps at 10,000 a day, and it lets me know when I hit it, when I'm sitting too long. It has the similar features to I assume as a Fitbit or whatever else. If I'm stagnant, it'll buzz and say get moving.
Right.
I'm not sure. I'm sure there's a setting you can have it remind you more often or not. I don't know. It's on whatever standard it was.
Right.
But every once in a while, I will be working at the computer and it'll buzz. Oh, okay. So I'll take a walk to the bathroom.
Yeah, that might be the S Health app. I know that the watch comes with the S Health,
Yes.
and that's probably in line with the app that comes with the watch.
Right. Yeah, you're exactly right because it pops up on my phone as well, and it is the little S runner guy.
Okay.
But that's my explanation for S Health.
Okay.
Little runner guy with a S. So okay.
So with the nice part with the watch, I know you have a Samsung phone, so
Yep.
automatically it's going to work. But
Yes.
one of the nice features with the S Watch is it is compatible with most Android phones. So depending on what version of Bluetooth you have, it will sync with most Android phones. Sorry, iPhones, you're stuck with the Apple Watch.
That's what I liked about it as well as the broad range of features. When we talked about getting a smartwatch and working through that, having a broad range of features that I could customize to what I wanted.
Right.
Big sell. And it's synced up with my phone very fast. Yeah. It was a 2-minute process and bam, it was working and I was rolling. I really like that part. Not very complicated.
Not at all.
Yeah.
That's what I like.
I didn't even read the directions.
Even better. That's why I love it. Is plug and play.
And I'm sure like the emails and so forth probably aren't that hard, but my feeling is if I'm going to read an email and respond, I'll need my phone out.
Yeah.
I'm not going to fight to make it.
Right. And try to pull with
do
on that little screen.
It is surprising though. The text, I really were worried that the text would be too small or too hard to reply. Piece of cake. Very easy to respond to text.
Great.
So I'm pleasantly surprised with that. It's a lot easier than I thought it would be.
Great convenience.
Yes, and very efficient.
Great. One other feature this watch also includes is wireless charging.
Oh, wonderful.
Love it.
Take it off. I have it at my desk. I take my watch off in the morning or afternoon. I don't pay much attention to how much charge because it does last quite a while. And I use it quite often.
Now, when you say quite a while, a day and a half.
I would say 2 days pretty easy. With me not using it at night. When I get home, I take it off.
Okay.
But using it during the day, from 7:30 to 5:30, 6 o'clock, it'll last all day for probably 2 days. And that's me using it all the time. And then charging it does not take long at all. It charges very fast. And it's just got a little charger with a base and a slanted wall, and you just clock it on, and it's almost magnetic. I think it is magnetic. Yeah. It sticks to it, and it has a red light, tells me, and then green.
So you could get in the routine of taking it off at night when you go to bed, and
it would charge easy
overnight.
It charges so easy. I do it at work. Like I'll come in the first thing in the morning, and if I check it and I'm worried about the charge or what I'm doing the rest of the day, I'll take it off and charge it real fast. Sometimes I'll wait till the afternoon, but I mean it's really easy. It charges fast.
So when it goes from dead to full charge, how long?
2 hours, maybe at the most. I haven't paid attention. I'm sorry, I didn't do a very good job on that end, but I would say no more than 2 hours.
Which isn't bad.
Yeah, it's probably less. I probably just don't notice.
Right.
Because it's behind me. So
right. Kind of out of sight, out of mind.
And when I get ready to get up and go somewhere and I know I'm leaving my desk, I'll pick it up, put it on, It's always charged. I rarely.
Right. So, I mean, even if you follow the routine of just taking it off at night when you go to bed.
Yeah,
plug it
that
on
would
and
be
charge.
the simple thing. I just didn't think that far ahead.
Right.
I got it out of the box at work, and that's where it set it.
Tip number 1, charge it at night.
That would be a good one. Yeah, and then and it charges fast. It uses the charger itself. You can take off and take it with you. It uses a mini USB, plugs right in the back.
Oh, so you're set either way.
Yeah, it's very easy. You just have to have the base.
Okay.
So that's the only thing. Take the base with you. It's
right.
small. It's the size of the watch.
Of the watch face. So,
yeah,
so it's nothing that's going to take up a lot of space.
Not at all.
Perfect.
Yep.
Okay, so one other thing.
No, I'm not dunking in the water.
Well, might as well just skip it. According to Samsung specs, the watch is water resistant, not waterproof. Water resistant. We always like to stress that. Up to 1.5 meters or 5 feet, for up to 30 minutes.
I've gotten water on it. I've wore it out in the rain. We had some soccer games, and I was using it as a timer. And it's gotten really wet with no problems.
Perfect.
I mean, literally out in the rain, full rain, no problems.
But we got to test it.
We'll see.
All right. So this phone comes in 2 models. It comes in a Wi-Fi only version, and it also includes a cellular version. Although right now, I just checked Samsung's website this morning. It only is available for AT&T.
I have AT&T, so I don't know.
Yeah, so it's
as far as
right. As far as the connectivity, but it still connects to your phone via Bluetooth, so that it syncs with the information from your phone. But it also uses connectivity. You can use it on the Wi-Fi for your apps and stuff like that, or if you have the AT&T version, you can bounce off the cell tower as well.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. Perhaps I should have read the directions a little bit. Mine does the Bluetooth, and that's all I really connected.
Right.
I'll have to see.
Well, if it syncs with Bluetooth over your phone, more than likely it's pulling the information from your phone anyway. So
it
really doesn't matter.
I'm intrigued though. I didn't know if I could use it without my phone. But if you're saying it'll work off the possibilities are working off an AT&T tower by itself,
right? I just open a whole new.
It might. I'm going to have to go get the directions out.
Well, my speculation would be it's via Bluetooth. So if you have just Wi-Fi only device, that's how it pulls the notifications. Or
yeah, it definitely does that through my phone currently, but that's the way I set it up.
Right.
It might have had another option to set it up different.
Right. So something to think about.
Yep.
Okay, so
I got a tech guy that helps me with that kind of stuff.
Well, if I knew who he was, we'd talk to him.
I have a feeling I'll be shooting you a little email here in a little bit.
Yeah.
Joe, I need help setting up my watch properly.
Yeah.
So I can get more efficient and use it better.
Yeah, there's 2 ways of doing it. Doing it and doing it right.
I agree. And unfortunately, I'm hitched to the first part of that.
Yeah.
So. Okay.
All right, so we've gone all over that. Give us the pros. What do you love about the watch?
The efficiency and the ease of use. I used it without even looking at the directions. I really did. I'm sure there's a lot of functions that I'm bypassing that I don't even know about that I would probably really like.
Right.
If I just need to slow down and take time to sit and go through it, or have someone that I know to sit and go through it with me to make it even easier. But yes, the ease of use and efficiency are top notch. That I can't stress that enough. I was really apprehensive that I don't need a high-end technical device to make me happier, but it is really the texting alone with what I do is really came through in a big way and made life a lot better.
Right, and that's one thing you and I have talked about. I'm a tech guru. I love anything that's got a gadget, bell, and a whistle. And for me, it's hard for me to justify saying, I really need a smartwatch. And for you to say, yeah, it's a great product, now it caused me to rethink the whole process of it. Maybe it is something worth actually looking into and investing a little time in. Because initially, my initial reaction was, I don't need it.
I thought that, and I had a couple of friends that work in the education field, and they sold me on the same aspects that I like about it. They said, this will help you when you go into a school and you shouldn't get your phone out. It's a touchy subject, even though I may not be part of that school or there for teaching a class or whatever the case may be.
Right.
Teacher. The idea is still the same. You model the behavior you want to see, and when you get your phone out, it's just poor modeling. When they sold me on that, we started talking about it, and I looked at the features, and I looked at how theirs worked. I was like, that'll definitely go the direction I want to go.
And it's kind of hard to enforce the rule with kids, especially in an after-school program. Yes. Keep your phones in your backpack.
Right.
What you're doing, you don't need the phone. But yet, you're still, as the administrator, you're still having to do your job. So at least this way, while the kids are doing their thing, you can just look a couple seconds and
Yeah.
instead of having to pull
you
it
know
out.
what's going on, and you can just determine from there.
Right, because the habit with the phone is, yeah, you get that call, you deny that call. Well, you just have to look. You've got 3 more emails to go through.
Right.
At least this way you can go. You got to deal with the call, cancel the call, and then go back.
And
to
I
what
will
you're
say
doing.
that it is very easy, and you swipe. It's very easy to swipe through texts. Like a lot of times my texts will pile up. I don't pay attention. I'll get 10 in a row.
Right.
So I'll get 10 texts, and it's very easy to me. Okay. And if I want, I can swipe up, and I can look at the actual text rather than just who it was in a couple of lines. It'll show me the whole text, and I can read through it, do a quick reply. They've really thought it through as far as that. And I'm sure the other functions are just as well thought out because the couple that I have used are similar.
Right.
Ease of use, simple, very nice, clean. I like it. It's clean.
Right.
And like I say, I don't have to have the newest, shiniest gadget out. I'll keep my phones for 2 and 3 years just because ease of use.
Right.
I'm used to them. I like them.
Right.
This has really paid off.
Right. Okay, so going from the pros, let's go to the cons. What do you not like about the watch?
There's a lot of stuff there. And where I am, I'm a simplist, minimalist. I would like to get rid of some of the apps off the wheel, but they seem to be there. Now, again, someone with better tech savvy might know how to get rid of those so that it cleans it up, so to speak. Like, I'm not the person that has my desktop and has the whole thing full of icons. I keep 12 and 15 icons, same ones I constantly use, and then if I need anything else, I go somewhere else and get it.
Right.
So that's the only real con I see is that to get to a couple of the functions, I have to go through 12. So I have to look at 12.
Right.
So not really a con necessarily, it's just personal preference.
So, and it could be one of those things that they could fix with an update saying, okay, you get a new watch, okay, here's the list of 12 apps. Which apps do you want on your phone?
Honestly, it's probably there, and I just don't know.
Okay.
I'm sure somebody at Samsung's going, that idiot just doesn't know to go here and do that.
Right.
Which is often the case with me. So that's just my own personal deal that I found. But like I said, I'm sure it's fixable because the whole premise is the app with the watch allows you to do so much customization.
Right.
It's almost has to be.
Right.
I just don't know it. So, yeah, it's probably not fair to give that as a con. It's just one of the things that I saw that, it'd be nice to say, okay, I don't want it, hold it down, delete it off.
Right. Well, now I will put the stipulation out there that you are possibly on the right path of it being on there and staying on there because not Samsung, but any manufacturer that you deal with, they are known for putting their own software on there.
Right.
Even the great iPhone does that.
Yes.
The manufacturers put their own software on there, and it's very difficult to almost impossible to uninstall. So it may not be able to.
Yeah, it may not be.
uninstalled.
I don't know. I didn't look, but like I say, I go mainly text calls. In the fitness app, I look at just to try to get moving a little more.
Right.
So those are the 3 that I hit. Otherwise, and I did put the weather on there, but I haven't used it very much. So for me, the cons are very. That's the only thing.
Right. Well, I know you
It's
mentioned
probably
the
fixable.
wheel, and I know you mentioned
Yeah,
the wheel.
the wheel itself, it's okay. I just don't use it because I
Right.
don't like it.
Right.
And I don't like it because I don't use it.
Right.
It's easier for me to go the other way.
Right.
So I don't even know if that's a con necessarily. If you made it more grippy, it'd probably get in the way.
Yeah.
It is very. You can see the wheel there a little bit. It is movable. It's very slim cut and minimalist, which I do like. I appreciate it. I do appreciate the grooves because you can grab it with your fingernail if you choose. So here's what I'm going to say with that. It's a con to me because I don't use it.
Right.
But really, it's not a con because it's out of the way and I don't care if I use it. I don't even notice it's there.
Right.
So that's a plus.
Right.
Okay.
All right. So I'm going to change things up, and I'm going to give you 2 different ways to rate this product.
Okay.
One rating is when it comes to mobile devices, a way to tell if a product is really successful or not is going back and getting it. So, you leave your phone at home, you hop in the car and you drive down the driveway, you always go back and get it. Most of the time.
I'm with you.
If you leave your watch at home and you're at the bottom of the driveway, do you turn around and go back and get your watch, or you just say, I'll forget it?
Honestly, I put it where I won't forget it for that reason alone because I would go back.
Okay.
I would for sure. So I go out of my way when I get home and I take it off and I put it right where my belt hangs, and every morning I grab it because of that.
Right.
I would have to turn around and go back and get it.
So that determines how successful it is.
Yeah.
That this device, it gains the worthiness of saying, "Oh, I forgot my watch. I got to go back and get it."
Yeah. Yes. And again, I'm not a watch wearer. I haven't worn a watch ever, and I like having it strapped on me because I know it makes my life more efficient.
Right.
And I can do my job better.
Right. Okay, so let's go to the typical thumbs up, thumbs down, 5-star rating. How do you want to gauge this device?
I would say, and then again, I'm pretty peculiar in how I think of things and look at things. I would say 5-star without a hesitation.
5 out of 5.
Thumbs up, yeah, 5 out of 5, no problem. Just because I'm a critic. I'm a hard sell on something like this.
I know you and I've had several
Yeah.
long discussions on stuff.
I mean, and that's the thing. I would look at this initially and say, no way. It's it's a foo-foo deal. It's just flash. It's for people that are too lazy to get their phones out. But after talking to a couple of my colleagues and realizing the implication of not having it versus having it, the quality that it brings in is pretty impressive. And you can get several different models.
Yeah, the Samsung site showed several different colors, and
This is the classic, so it's got a leather strap. It looks professional. They have like a sports model, I think.
yeah, there's a couple different models and a couple different colors that they come in.
White and so forth. So I just got some of those kind of black, basic. Wouldn't know if it was a real watch or a smartwatch.
Right.
That was what.
Although I picked it up on the first thing. It's like,
you're tech savvy. So you can't float anything by you.
Right.
Especially tech related. So yeah, I would say 5 out of 5, and I would say with the asterisk of I'm not a tech savvy person that has to have the newest, best, brightest, flashiest thing.
Right.
It's still a solid 5.
Which is great. Which is most of our audience. Our audience, we don't go for the tech nerd. We always go for the the everyday consumer. And this device is marketed to the everyday consumer. So this falls right in.
Yeah, I would say it's a home run. Now, for the average person, if you can check your phone at work and not be a negative for you, then this wouldn't be necessary. But I would say if you're in a right profession or job where you don't want to get your phone out, or you can't get your phone out for those social graces, this is wonderful.
Right.
And and now instead of pulling my phone out to look for the time,
it's right there.
And that is pretty neat. I will say this: it stays dark. And when you flip your wrist up, the watch comes on.
So it has that capability. It's kind of like my Fitbit. It stays dark until you flip your wrist, and
when
then
you flip it up, the clock comes on and tells you, or unless it notifies you. So that is pretty good. It's pretty neat.
And it's a great battery saver.
Yes, that's why I get the sneaking suspicion. I get in the habit, like when I set it at home, it's not on, so it's conserving energy. And the same thing at work. I'll take it off and set it down. So, yep, there you go. Product review 1.
All right. And a great one at that.
Yeah, I've been pleasantly surprised. I was really skeptical. It took me about 6 months to decide if this was the route I wanted to go or not. Once I did, I was very happy.
And it's very surprising because on a lot of things, it's hard for you and I to agree on a lot of things.
Yes.
And our initial talk about the watch was the same. It was actually something we agreed on which is a rarity.
Right.
That a watch, it's nice, but it's not really needed.
Yeah.
But you've changed your opinion, so I might have to actually invest some time into this.
Adapt, get better, make life more efficient. And we talk about that a lot. And that's what you bring to the table, you yourself.
Right.
You bring that to the table. If it makes your life more efficient, or helps you work better,
right,
then you have to make that step.
Right.
And that's the motto, mantra you kind of push. And I listen. This time I listen. I don't always listen.
Right. Well, and
back up your computer, Dave. Yeah, okay. And then I ignore you.
Yeah, and then when it starts smoking, hey Joe, guess what?
Yeah, Joe, come fix it. So, but on this end, you started wearing your Fitbit, and we're having good results. That was a plus for me. So, learning from your end of that deal, and then carrying it over, and then getting a couple more colleagues' input. So I made the jump. And I'm very happy I did.
Great.
So,
all right. So
review finished.
All right. End of review.
If you have any questions, call Joe.
Yeah.
He'll know more about it than I will. That's the bad news. Bad news is I can't give much more input than that. You just got all the knowledge I have about this.
But that's great because a lot of people may fall into that same line of as far as just the main features of what you're running into, so that'll fall right in what they're at least what they're wanting to know that they're guaranteed it'll do.
Yeah, and then I'm sure it'll do much more. It scares me to think of how much technology is packed in this little watch.
Right.
It's crazy. and I'll get better. I'll learn more. I'll slow down at some point and go backwards. Or have you come in and give me a little tutelage.
Yeah.
Or I'll just loan it to you for a couple of weeks and you can sort
There
it
you go.
out.
Hey, Dave, you know how to do this? No.
I'm sure that'll be the conversation. So, yeah. But, okay. Well, that was our reverse show for the day with Help Desk with Joe. So it's nice to switch roles a little bit. I think I learned a little bit because it is hard to gauge. I have a new appreciation for you doing reviews. It's hard to gauge and think about what you would honestly say without being biased.
Right.
So it was a good turn of events. I like it. All right, so that's our Help Desk with Joe for this show. Pretty long one. Holy cow. Usually,
we can just-
producer Cena by now is waving at us to cut it off. But
Well, I've seen her jump up and down a couple times, so we may want to wrap it up.
Yeah. Okay. All right. If you have any questions or need any more information, get a hold of Joe via Joe and his information.
You can give us a call at our office at 304-927-3588. Visit our website at amdigitaltechnologies.com. Be like Dave and like us on Facebook.
I like the Facebook Live. I get it every morning. I come in, I see what products are out there. So that's a good way to go. Remember, all our shows are hosted by A&M Digital Technologies, produced by Cena and Joe here. Shop local. If you have any needs or any information, or you want to purchase anything, get it through A&M Digital Technologies. Help support our local economy and our local businesses. So, and we'll be back next week and do some more fun stuff. And I'm not
Now,
maybe we'll
okay.
see. You might be able to talk to me.
I was going to say, if you want Dave to put a product in water, like it and put it in the comments, and we'll see what we can do.
Okay, what's a good? How many comments do you get on a video on average?
Depends on the video. So I say we get at least one comment for water.
Time
we're
out.
good.
No. I think if you get like say
10 comments.
10 comments, and then we'll do a dunk test.
Okay. And the phone.
Reach in there.
Okay.
All right. So we'll be back next week. Thanks for watching again. If you need anything, go back and watch any of our past videos. Or contact Joe or Cena, A&M Digital Technologies. Thanks for watching. We'll be back.
Thank you.